Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm doing some more on my altered book. I've got 2 pages marked there. I think it's only 2 that I've got to show you. And that is doing this spread here with the diagonal pockets. And if I show you, that is what we're going to end up with. Well, similar, I'll use different paper. And then this page here with the folded over pocket, which I've only got the one of, and I do believe that's it. That is all that's left to do. A little bit there and a little bit there, but all the pages are done. And there might be some tags that I'm going to add, but that's basically it. But I wanted to show you some things that I have noticed now that we're getting to the end of the book. It's getting chunky. Don't mind that. And I think most people that make journals don't really mind that. This is becoming annoying. I think I shared a link to the video when I was doing this page of where I made this. And I think it needs a magnet. So like I did on the back page, where I put a magnet there for that closure, I think one is required here, because it's just a bit annoying. As I turn over the page, look, a bit annoying. So yeah, that's what I would do there. The other thing I've noticed is that I've secured these front pages quite well by putting, some good quality paper all the way across. So then we're left with the next page in, and that is pulling away from the block. It was really bad here, and so it was splitting all the way down here. So I took some Fabitac and I squeezed it all the way in the hole that was creating. So I did that a few days ago, and it seems to have held quite well. Now you might notice, if you look, there's like a brown stripe going all the way down. That was the packing tape that I put on underneath this. So had I not put that packing tape on, that page would have completely come away. I mean, it might be that with sticking this on, it weakened it a bit, but it's also strengthened it. I don't know. But that has happened there. So I want to strengthen that, even though I've stuck a picture there, but I mean, I can do that again. So I want to strengthen that there, and the same at the front. It's beginning to go there, and you can see the packing tape underneath. So I am going to reinforce this join here. Throughout the book, you saw me put bits of paper to join these, like there. You can see the paper strip has been stuck down there. That's held quite well. But if you look at this one, it's split all the way down. So I've gone over it with surgical tape. I've just put micropore surgical tape over it, because you can see through it, so it's not changed the pattern. And it happened after I'd already stuck the pages down, so that was the reason for doing that. And I've stuck it over here as well, because that was coming apart. So I've kind of gone through the book and see it's splitting a bit there, so I'll have to reinforce there, splitting there. This page was splitting, so I've put some surgical tape on that. This page is now splitting, so that needs some taping, and I put some on there. So it's just, I think somebody did comment about using these Reader's Digest books. They weren't maybe the best choice, that they do come unstuck, and yet I've seen other videos where they recommend them. So this is what I've found. So those ones are holding up quite well, but it's just something to be aware of, that you might find over time that they will split. and that they might need some reinforcing. Some of them appear to be okay, some of them not so okay. So that was just what I wanted to draw your attention to. I mean, that one I used packing tape on, and I don't know if you can see, but without that packing tape, that's separating there completely. That paper's holding up there. So yeah, and if you can see it more at the bottom, I think that there's a bit there where it's coming apart away from this sort of backing, and there is quite a lot of room down there. Not so much on the top, but yeah, so maybe they're not the strongest books, but so I know that some people said that they were crafting along with me, and some people said, I'll wait till I've finished and then I'll, you know, watch them all and do it. And, you know, I said, you know, well, that's great, because then if I make mistakes, you can not make them. So yeah, so if your book starts coming apart like that, then that is what I've done. I would ideally like to use my brown packaging tape, but I can't find it. And I did a bit of clearing up, and a bit of rearranging, and a bit of sorting, and ever since I've done that, I can't find my brown packaging tape. So note to self, don't tidy. Yeah, I mean, some of the things that I've made, changes I've made, are really good ones, and I'm very grateful for them. But yeah, I have lost many a thing. So I'm going to use my black construction tape instead. I don't mind so much there's going to be a bit of black down it. It's probably stronger, this, because I use this for making covers. So yeah, so I'm going to put it all the way along, starting at the bottom. And I'm just gonna, I'll be covering over it. Don't mind a little bit of a black margin showing, if I'm honest. Right, let's just peel that back and snip. Snip a bit more, straighten that up. So just gonna close that up, lock it into the crease, just using my nail down there. Now I'm going to get a bone folder, now going nicely into the, oh, poked a hole. That was really good, Jess. I didn't want to do that. Be careful when you're doing this, that you don't poke a hole. Because that kind of defeats the object. I'm trying to make this so that it'll hold together, and I'll poke this blooming hole in it. So so I put surgical tape up to there and not up to the top. So I'm going to put a little bit more of this on. I've got another roll of this somewhere. I've seen some people use this and they add glue as well. I might just put a little bit of glue down. I just felt, I used it once, I think I said in a video, I used it once to mend a pocket that a patient had ripped off my dress when I was nursing, and just as a temporary measure, and years later and lots of washes later, the pocket was still intact. And I used to keep the ward keys in the pocket, you know, like the medicine trolley keys and that. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. So I think it's quite sticky, this stuff, and it goes on and it's sort of quite opaque, so you don't really see it that much. And then I just take a little bit of, take a blending brush, and it does pretty much disappear. So yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And then I'm going to do the same on the front. See how annoying that is? So I'll say that one, you can see the brown tape under there that I'd used before. And let's straighten this top. And what I love about this is it doesn't really matter that you've made these little changes, because if you're going for the overall sort of vintage look like I am, a little bit of mending. I love finding things when they've had sellotape on them and they've like all faded and discoloured, and I think it just adds to the look. So having a little bit of tape stuck on to make do and mend, as was our way, I think it just enhances the overall look as opposed to making it look ruined. That's just my opinion. Let's go across there. It's very hard to cut in a straight line when it's like that. Push that in. So hopefully that will hold it all together nicely. Bit there where that book's coming apart in the corner there. So if you find little bits of lifting like I've got there, stick some glue on it. Stick some glue on it, or just have it adding to its overall charm. So that's that. And to be fair, I don't mind how that looks. I'm looking at that, got a bit of black there. I actually think that I might not do anything to that. I quite like it. Might leave it as is, but on the back, because I'd already stuck something on there, do you know, I'm not that bothered on that either. I might just leave it like that. Don't bother me. If it bothers you, cover it. But I don't think that really bothers me. You could, the other thing you could glue on there is Tyvek. I know that in the US you can get your envelopes, lots of your envelopes are Tyvek. We don't have that here in the UK. We have to buy the Tyvek. And I did buy some 10 sheets of it. Can't remember how much it cost, years and years ago, so I've still got that. Then somebody shared, you know, when you go to like a festival or all-inclusive holidays or whatever, you get a wristband. Well, you know, and often they're like paper, but they're made of Tyvek, and you can buy those little, they're 3/4 of an inch wide, and you can buy them in different colours, and you can buy them in plain white now on Amazon. $3.99 for 100. So I could have used some of those strips on here, and then it wouldn't have ripped at all. But I've gone for the tape. So there we go. That's taken up quite a lot of the video doing that. So let's do a little bit of decorating. So let's do this, show you how I did this double page, because as you see I've got 2 pockets there. So that pocket is the one that was made, and then we've got a second pocket, as you can see there, and then here I just used one of those clusters and made a little tiny pocket there. That one I just decorated. So I've got videos on making these cards, clusters, and these. This was my jelly printing. I thought the colour went quite well with the papers. You'll see that this script is upside down, and that's because it's the other side of this piece of paper, and it's what I cut off there, and I just created a pocket, and I just thought, I don't care that it's upside down, it's a junk journal. So yeah, that's what I did. So let's get and make it. So I'm going to use these Pressed Petals paper from Stampin' Up. It's retired, and this was thinner paper, and I've used it. I used it on this page that we're replicating, and I've used bits here because there was label sheets. I've used it here, and I've used another one of those sort of labels for pockets. So I'm going to use it again. So I'm just going to pick my paper. So I've used that side. Get them out a bit more. So I've used this blue one, and it's got that on the other side, which I really like. And there's a bit of me that thinks that that would look lovely, but I've used that. I know I haven't used it much, but I have used it. So that was the one that I did that sheet with. There's that lovely paper. So there's that sheet, which has the plain sin on the back. There's this that's got the music, and I really like the music, and I've used these. So I could use that and the music. Fairly nice. And then there's this sheet, which has the wood grain on the back, which I wouldn't want, so I would use something different for the little pocket on that one. Or there's this at the back, which has got that nice seed packet, and I haven't really used that, so I think I might go for this one because I really like it, and that's really nice as well. So that is the choice that I have made. So if you don't have double-sided paper, then you won't be able to do this bit, but if you have, happy days. So I'm just going to measure this. So up to there. Yeah, I can't see the inches. There we go. So it is like 7 3/8. So we're going to go up 1/8 there. So up to the top there. So we're going to go about 7 inches tall. 7 inches tall. And we'll go 5 inches wide, and I think that is more or less what I've done all the sheets, isn't it? I just forgot. So it's kind of directional. It's not kind of directional, it is. It's all going that way, so I want to be 7 inches that way. So that's the thing to watch out for if you're doing directional. If you've got directional paper, is that you want to make sure you're going in the right direction. And then we want 5. Before I cut a second one, I want to check Yep, that's what I want. So I'll cut that one down to 5. And I've got little strips and scraps for other projects. Okay, and so now I want to cut my diagonal. So I'm going to bring in my pencil and I'm going to make a mark. Oh, slightly off there. I'm going to make a mark so the pocket ends there. So I'm going to put a little mark there on the paper. And it is more or less going to the top. I did do this so it came across a bit, so I might actually cut a little bit off the top because that is a little bit close to the top. So what I might do is come in a bit there first off. So not gone quite 7, we're taking about 1/4 inch off. It will look better, I think. So going from there to there. So I've got a pencil mark there, a pencil mark there. I'm going to put those on my trimmer. I've got one pencil mark up there and the other pencil mark down here. I'm going to cut. So that should now fit where I want it on the page there. And then this bit that we've just cut off could go down there as the pocket. And that's how I created that pocket. I am going to stick it onto some book paper to give it a bit of strength. So I will, that one's already been cut down. So I'm going to stick it onto some book paper to reinforce it because the paper's not strong enough. So, and if you look at that one, I did it so that you could see a bit of the book page as well. And as you can see, I've sewn it. I might sew it again. So that's how I did that one. So I'll just do the other one in exactly the same way. So I've done one of the pockets to remind myself how I did it, so it won't be too much faffing. So got my book page and I'm just going to stick it and have a little margin around this, like so. I have inked all the way around these as well. So just going to use glue stick and Collall because that's what I like. Glue stick to make sure I get to the edges, although the Collall does ooze a bit when you put it on. So if you put it on fairly close to the edge, once you've stuck it down and spread it out with your spreader, it will ooze to the edge. So there's no worries there. So stick this down like so, turn it over, get my spreader, so that glue is now being pushed and it will go. Well, that is not even glued there, Jez. So now I'm pushing the glue. Got to bed early in the morning. Well, it's early for me. I had to get up because I was having a delivery. And which came, there was a little bit of a gap earlier. I had to stop the video because there was a knock on my door, you might have heard. It's my Gin Club delivery. So exciting. I get one every 3 months. Well, I say I get one every 3 months. This is my second one. I got my introductory order which was dirt cheap. And then this was my next one. Still got a bit of the first one left, actually. Never without gin in my house. That would be an utter disaster, by my reckoning. So there, that's nicely stuck. So then I take my ruler and going up to the edge of where that excuse me, where that paper is, and then just coming over ever so slightly so that we've got a little bit of a margin, folding it up like that. I found this the easiest way to do it, and then turn it back on itself, so you've got the crease now, and it will just fold there nicely. And then take my scissors, just gonna come down there a little bit, don't have to go all the way across. And then on my trimmer, I'm just going to put the 2 points. I'm going about 3/4 of an inch. So this is marked so I can see I put the crease at about 3/4 of an inch, and then chop it off. Got a nice little margin there for going over. Didn't trim that one very well. Let's just give it another little trim. Is that one all right? That one's all right, but it's a little sliver. Let's take that off. So, and that gives you a nice strong edge there. I'm gonna put the trimmer away now, so that I just like a double edge there for the pocket, because it's quite thin paper. This was some DSP. That was, you had double amount of sheets in the pack for the same price, but the pages were actually thinner, and actually I really like them. I've put loads in there. For this project, I think it's really good, because if you're putting really thick paper on the book pages, you're adding quite a lot of bulk. That glue is proper oozing out. I proper put too much on there. Oh dear. Mop it up. Fold that sheet over. I'm getting proper blaster in the past, because I'm using an old Stampin' Up catalogue here as my glue base. I'm getting proper blaster in the past. I loved that sheer ribbon. Still got a bit, I think. I might have used it all now. So I'm just going to go round this now. There we go. Now the next step you don't have to do, which is sewing. I sewed, before I stuck them down, I sewed round the 3 edges, and I sewed round the edges of this, so we've got this nice zigzag sewn edge. I just liked it, so I think I'm going to do it again because I liked it. But you don't have to, and if you haven't got a sewing machine but you like the stitch look, then you can get stamp sets that do stitching. And on this one I have used the stamp set. That one isn't actually stitched, that one is stamped. So that's the stamped, that's the stitched, that's the stitched, that's the stamped. So you get the same look with the stamp set. A bit cheaper than buying a sewing machine if you don't have one. So yeah, so I'm going to go and get them stitched. So there's some sewn. Now I did have a little bit of a breakage there. Not bothered. Just going to put a bit of ink over that. It's fine. I'd run out of the underneath thread, but hey ho. And this one, because I sewed these first on that side, on this one I sewed that side, so that's the right side and that's the wrong side. Don't really think it makes any odds, but what I will do, it's about where the paper direction goes. So obviously it's gone in there, but it's come out here, so you can see a little bit of the paper, so the white bit of the paper. So I'm just gonna cover that up a bit. And that's all the problem is. Not that that's a problem, but don't like the white core, so there we go. So that's all ready now to stick in place. So find ourselves there. So I got that to go on there. That to go on there. We don't need that now. That was just my bookmark so that I knew where I was going. And then these are going to get stuck on top. Just realised I should have cut this down slightly because I've put that the book border on it and it comes over slightly. Oh, that's not really a problem. But what I did on the other one was I glued them so that you could see the border underneath. So it was the border underneath, whereas this one I've cut them so you can't really do that. So that's fine, and that does cover up a bit of that gubbins there, so it doesn't really matter. So that's going to get stuck on there, and that's going to get stuck on like so. So this one is fully stuck down, and this is only going to get stuck down on 2 edges. So I'll do one for you to see, and I'll do the other one without you being able to see, because it's exactly the same. Just don't want it to be forever, this video. It's already about half an hour. And I know you can, if you're like me, you'll watch this on double speed. That's run out. Need another one. Don't know where one is for now. Well, I do, but I don't want to stop filming and getting it out, so I'm going to carry on. So I'm just going to take this, go along the edge, so that definitely sticks down, because that hasn't got any glue. So bring in my book. Stick that to the edge. Get my glue spreader. Get my mopping up cloth. Give it a rub. So any oozing, I can mop up straight away. And there we go. And then this just wants to go round the edges. I'm going to use Tombow for the edges because I want it to be really strong. Not that Collall's not. I just have lots of glue to choose from, and This is how I like to do this. I get a bit of my silicone brush and make sure that's going to the edge. And then stick this down. Get I'm thinking as well, oh no, I did go all the way down. You could cut this across so you've got a little bit sticking up there, but I've gone totally, no you can't because I've took it off the top. If you were cutting this separately, you could do it so you had a little bit there. Oh, that was rubbish, Jez. Absolutely rubbish. There we go. That usually doesn't happen because this usually sticks really quickly. So what some people do, and I am going to do now because that's happened, is I'm just going to put a few clamps on it to make sure that sticks really well. Because I didn't like the way that came off at all. Can't get into that corner piece there, so we'll just do a little peg. There. So I'm going to get the other side glued in, and then we'll decorate these fronts a little bit and get some tags. So there we are, they're all done, and I thought I'd just add a little bit of stamping before I add anything else. So I'm going to take this lovely stamp there and this Duttage, so Quiet Meadow, Ranunculus Romance, two of my favourite stamps for doing vintage. So they are mounted. I'm going to use soft suede, and I probably should have inked these before I put it on, but I didn't. So there we go. That is just the way it is. Now I'm going to take this off to do this. I'm just going to put a bit on there. I don't want a full coverage. Just want a little bit, which is why I'm doing it like this. Bit on there. Just random, no rhyme, no reason. And then want some dots. I don't like holding these in my hand because this is really sticky, the backing on this. But if you hold it in your hands, then like the natural oils in your hands, you can see that sticking. They will stop the stick. Now I have spare sticky, but it's not my preference to hold on to them at all. I prefer taking the paper to the stamp than doing it that way around, but it was stuck in, so there was nothing I'd do about it. So I'm just gonna come in a little bit with whatever ink is on this brush, not a lot. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of decoration and I want some tags. So I've picked out some tags that I've made. So I used these in this double spread as well. I think the colour goes really well with the colour in these papers. I do have a video on how I made this. These are all jelly prints, so they'll go in there nicely. And then this video could have come out last Saturday. So I I stamped and watercoloured on music paper, and just put this little ribbon pull like that. I thought those colours complemented well as well. And then a little bit on the pocket here, I pulled out, now I can't see them, just a couple of little things to decorate, which have just vanished from my desk. Nope, totally disappeared, but good job I've got some more. So I made these, I don't think I filmed it, just made some faux stamps. I have got videos on making faux stamps. So I had 2 of these. I don't know where the other one, I wish I could find them, because I picked out the perfect ones to go on. So my idea was to use these faux stamps. I had one going that way and one going this way, and then I had 2 of these to pop behind. But I haven't got a full one with a frame round. I've got some frame stamps. You're tired? Stamping up, of course. Maybe I'll just use those little bits just to add a little something, although that one's not the right colour. No, I'm going to find, oh, they're falling on the floor, Jez, that's what happened. Fell on the floor. Here we go. Oh, don't know how that happened. And I'm reaching down. That's one of my physio exercises done. I do like some of them I just do in normal life. There we go. There is another one of them somewhere, but I can't find it. So there we go. So that one there, and then just have these behind. That was where I was coming from, to give it a little bit of something. And then this paper was in part of a suite, and it had this washi tape that is like a flower petal. I've seen other washi tape that's like a flower petal, and you can put them together and make flowers with them. As you put your petals together, put it round in a circle, which I thought was quite cute. So I thought I might use these with this sort of tucked underneath. So what I'm going to do is stick this one down. So I'm not making any little pocket with this cluster, which I did on the other one. I'm just sticking it down. This is purely for decoration. So put that down like that. Now, even though it's washi and it's sticky, we don't trust it. So I'm going to put a bit of extra glue on there so that it won't come up. And these petals are the same as the ones in the paper. So it is all a bit matchy-matchy. But that's what I like. That's tissue, Jez, not a dry baby wipe. That'll get fluff on it. There we go. So that like that, and then put that there. I just like the way that's sort of peeping up there a bit. I might put one on that side as well. Actually, I like how that looks. There we go. Get this filmed before my mate comes and we go out for lunch. We are ladies at lunch. And we've got lunch date today. She just messaged me to say she's running late. Nothing unusual about that. Which is what she said in the message. Running late as usual. But fine, because I'll be quite happy to get this finish before we go out. See, I like that. Like it. It is good. Where's that one gone? There we go. So stick this one down. I just think that makes a nice little cluster. So I made these stamps out of these papers here. So I used a frame stamp set, swirly frames. So I used this little square one there, stamped it, and then just freehand cut it out. So this one was stamped on with this stamp, and then, oh, see, sticky comes off when you hold it. And then I stuck this on. This is just brown packaging, and then used my postage stamp punch, and then the little franking there. So yeah, that's how I made them. Really nice, simple, easy, quick ephemera. Look good as a cluster. I like it. So if that's going to go over like that, we'll have one coming up there. And that's it done. So then there's just one page left, and possibly the cover. Well, not possibly the cover. I want to do something on the cover. Not much, because I like it, but something. So that is that. Give that a bit more of a brown tinge. There we go. So that's that page finished. So that's that one, and that's that one. And yeah, liking it. So there's just this one. So it's just a matter of me choosing the papers. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'll do complementary papers across there. I could add a pocket to this in the same way as I did here, but I might not. I might go for similar to what I did there, is add plainer sheet there like that. Might even use the same sheet so that it's plainer, and I might actually go the full hog and do the blue there, and then as I've done there, just put a bit of a cluster and some stamping. I like that look, so I'll get that prepared. So here we are. I have gone with the same papers, and I've just cut those down to size, and so I thought I'd do some stamping on here, and I thought I might use the stitched stamp set. I can't remember if I did this on camera or not, so I'm going to use that one. It is a bit of my go-to one, and so instead of actually sewing, I'm gonna faux sew. Faux sew. Love it. So no end to my punnage. Right, bring in this sheet here. So we just go in on the end there, on the top there, on this one, and then we'll go. So this requires you to stamp a second time. That's okay. Don't care about the join, because when you sew, you kind of do your reverse stitch, and sometimes the thread breaks and you have to start again. So I think it adds to its realness. So there we are. That's as quick as that. That is so much quicker than taking it to your sewing machine, and you may not have a sewing machine. So so that's all well and good. Okay, so let's get a little image on it. Now, last time I used the floral from Quiet Meadow because I thought those flowers went with these quite well, so I'm gonna stick with that. Get that stamped. Didn't get these ready, I do apologise. I have had, well, a day's break. I didn't work on this yesterday, well, apart from cutting these papers up. I kept meaning to sort of sit and stamp, and then I never did because I did other things. I was the lady that lunched. There we go. Yeah, quite liking that. Gonna put a little bit of a cluster up in the corner. I made some of these faux stamps to match, so thought that would go nicely up there. Got one for down there. This one I backed it on some Mossy Meadow, which I'd somehow managed to spill ink on, but so I thought, well, waste not, want not. That can go down there. So we need a little bit of our dottage going around. Well, we don't need it, but I like it. And I might do a bit of this. Where's the flower on that side? So a bit of this. So this page is still able to sort of stick things on and write on it if you wanted to. Put a picture on it. Oh, that's not stuck down, you Wally. So I do like it when I do a little bit of words across the flower. Not that you can really see it because it's quite dark, the flower. But very subtle that. That's okay, might do. Bit of a postmark because I've got like faux stamps on it, so just chuck a couple of postmarks on there for good measure. And I love this label, so I'll put that one on as well. There we go. Right, I think that's that. I think that'll do very nicely. So that, oh, I might put a bit on the page actually that it's going on. Put a bit on here. Wonder if there's still some ink left. Yeah, there is. There we go. That'll do nicely. Put a bit of that on there. That on there. Let's have a bit of that. That'll do. That will do. Right, let's get. It's already edged. Let's put a little bit on the middle of those flowers because they're, yeah, that'll do. Right, so now let's just stick it all down. So I will stick it down by speeding it up. There we are. So that's them stuck in. You notice I just put that round 3 sides because I thought that would be a nice little pocket. So I just got some little tickets ready from, I think these are Artie May's. I thought they were quite good colours, and I just thought I've backed them on some paper. I'm out of breath. I've just been downstairs because a parcel arrived. I'm really unfit. So I just thought that was a nice little finish off, and then we need something in there. So I've got these envelopes that I've made previously out of the same paper. So I thought, how cool is that? So this was using the Pretty Pillar Box die. I have a video on my channel on this, so I thought that would go quite nicely in there. And then I don't think I've done a video on this. I sort of made my own cabinet card, so nice little vintage picture there, sticker in there just peeping out. So that's every page done. So next time I'll just do something on the spine. I quite like the cover. I've now made it a little bit mucky, but I think that might clean off, and then just cover that up a bit. I quite like that edge there, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. It's now very chunky, so I've got to think about my closure. So I hope you join me next time, and I hope you've enjoyed this little journey, and I can't believe that I've nearly finished it, and it didn't take too long really, I don't think. So see you all again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, see, I'll link down below to the products I've used, stamp sets and whatever. So punches I used, didn't I? And inks and blending brushes and what have you. Okay, bye for now.